I did read another book last month off of my physical TBR, and that was George Orwell's Animal Farm. This copy came to me from Thrift Books. I believe it was a acceptable version that I probably got for like $2 or $3. It might have been my free book that I got from spending a certain amount of money, and they have a pretty low, like $5 threshold, so it might have been one of those. And that is why it has this sticker on it from someone's high school. Normally I would be very annoyed by this, but in this case, it is so thematically resonant that I'm actually delighted. I mean, vote the goat, and it's a book about animals in politics. Wow. So if you found your way to this video, you're probably familiar with this book, at least in title, if nothing else. It came out in 1956, and it is a political satire, not satire in the way that people say satire when they're just saying a bad joke on the internet and they're like, I didn't mean it, it was satire. This is satire because it has something that it is actually critiquing and making fun of through, I guess you could call it humor. Honestly, the book is not very funny, but it has something to say. And I found a lot of resonance in our current political system with this book. I think that the message of the ending, particularly, which is basically playing on Paulo Freire's famous theme in The Pedagogy of the Oppressed, that the oppressed becomes the oppressor when given the ability. And I don't want to say too much because while I found this book just okay, I read 1984 as a teenager and found it absolutely stunning. I was really, really bowled over by the ending. I thought it was fantastic and worth the read in that alone. And it's just a novella. I read this in one day in a single sitting. So it's definitely easy to knock out if you want to get this off of your great English canon list. And I recommend looking up interpretations and explanations of the book after the fact. I did not get the references to the specific political system that Orwell is satirizing here. I knew that he had written this after World War II and that it was about the rise of fascism, and that there are a lot of political themes that I recognized from history and in our modern day. But the actual specific characters in this book do have real life counterparts, so I found that quite interesting to dive into after I had drawn my own conclusions. I do recommend this book if you want to understand what people are referencing when they reference Animal Farm, and because it will not take much time out of your life to read it. However, it is my least favorite book that I've done for the challenge so far. Mind you, I have only done 3 all year, so hopefully we'll have better luck with the next one, and hopefully not nearly as long of a break in between.